Hello, students and viewers at home. Welcome to St. Charles College Onitsha online teaching. My name is Okoh IM, Department of Mathematics. The topic we have today is properties of plane shape. Before we go into the lesson, let's look at the basic objectives. By the end of the lesson, the students are expected to 1. Identify and draw plane shape. 2. List at least 4 properties of plane shapes. Number 3. Compare and contrast any given plane shapes. Now to the lesson proper. What is a plane shape? A plane shape is a two-dimensional shape. That is, it has only 2 dimensions or 2 directions, length and width. Examples include triangle, rectangle, square, rhombus, kite, parallelogram, etc. Let's look at the properties of plane shape. The first plane shape we are going to look at is the triangle. A triangle is a polygon of 3 sides. We have different types of triangle. They are: first one is equilateral triangle. In equilateral triangle, all the sides are equal. This side now is equal to this, and this side is equal to this side. The 3 sides are equal. None is greater than the other one. Then we have the next one that is called a scalene triangle. In scalene triangle, none of the sides is equal. If you look at this one very well, you see that this side is longer than this side, and this side is longer than this side. So none of the sides is equal to the other one. Then we have another one that we call isosceles triangle. In isosceles triangle, 2 sides are equal. This side now is equal to this side. And we say also that the base angles are equal. This angle here is equal to this angle here. Also, we can equally classify triangles based on their angles. Classifying triangles based on their angles, we have the first one, which is called acute angled triangle. We say that in this acute angled triangle, each of its angle is less than 90 degrees. The next one we have is obtuse angled triangle. In obtuse angled triangle, we say that one of its angle is more than 90 degrees. If you look at this triangle I'm having here, you see that this angle here is above 90 degrees. It's a good example of obtuse angled triangle. Then we have the next one that we call right angled triangle. Right angled triangle, we say that in right angled triangle, one of its angle is equal to 90 degrees. The triangle I'm having here now is a good example of right angled triangle. If you look at it, at the end here, there's a mark there. That sign shows that it's a sign, it's a 90 degrees. It's a sign of 90 degrees. I cannot say that it's a 90 degrees, but once you see this sign, you know that it's saying that it's a 90 degrees. Then let's look at the properties of a triangle. I will not take the triangles one by one. I'll give you the general properties of triangle. The first one we have there is it has 3 sides. All triangle has 3 sides. No matter how big it is or how small it is, it has 3 sides. Number 2, the sum of its angle is equal to 180 degrees. No matter how big it is, no matter how small it is, if you measure the 3 angles of a triangle using projection, you get 180 degrees. Then number 3, it is a polygon. Triangle is a polygon. So let's look at the next plane shape, which is a rectangle. The shape I'm having here is a good example of a rectangle. And what is a rectangle? A rectangle is a polygon of 4 sides. It has 4 sides. If you look at it here, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's the 4 sides of a rectangle. Let's look at its properties. He said that number 1, it has 4 sides, like this one I'm having here. Number 2, the opposite sides are equal and parallel. This side here is equal to this side, and this side above here is equal to this side, and they are parallel. What we mean by they are parallel is that if you measure this side and this side, so far you have the same measurement. Measure it from here to Lagos. the two lines can never meet. They are parallel. They cannot touch each other. So far, you are using the same measurement to measure it. Measure it from here to Cameroon. The line will not touch. So we say that it's parallel to each other. Number 3, it has 4 equal angles. We have the first angle here, second angle, third angle, and fourth angle. And each of these angles is equal to 90 degrees. Each of these angles is equal to 90 degrees. The next one is it has 2 lines of symmetry. The lines of symmetry is the line that divides them into 2 equal sides. It says that it divides it into equal sides. That what you have here is what you have in the other end. I would say that in this case, it has 2 lines of symmetry. Number 5, the diagonals bisect each other. The diagonals, if you cross it this way, they bisect each other. Then you say that it's a special parallelogram. Rectangle is a special parallelogram. Then the next one that we are going to look at is a square. We have a square here. Look at this shape. It's different from a rectangle. Look at it. There are 2 different things. We say that a square is a polygon of 4 equal sides. If you look at this side now, you see that the sides are equal. The 4 sides are equal. None of them is greater than the other one. They are sides. Then let's look at the properties of a square. 1, we say that all the sides are equal. All the 4 sides are equal. Number 2, all the angles are equal. Just like a rectangle, it has 4 right angles. They are equal. Then number 3, the diagonals bisect each other. Number 4, it has 4 lines of symmetry. It has 4 lines of symmetry. 4 lines of symmetry in it. Then number 5, the opposite sides are parallel. This side is parallel to this side, and this side is parallel to this side. Then we're supposed to have the 6th one, which says that the total sum of each angle is 360 degrees. All the quadrilateral, like this square, rectangle, and the other 4-sided polygon, they have the sum of it, the angle is equal to sum of each angle. That is, each quadrilateral is 360 degrees. So this one is for square. Then we go to the next one, which is a parallelogram. This is what is the shape we call a parallelogram. If you observe it very well, you see it. You see that you see this one, it's a parallelogram, and this one is also a parallelogram. So we say that a parallelogram is a 4-sided polygon in which each pair of the opposite sides are parallel and equal in length. If you look at this one, this side is parallel to this side, and they are equal in length, and this side here also is parallel to this one, and they are equal in length. Likewise, this one, they are the same thing. We have this side is equal to this side, and this side is equal to this side, and the opposite sides are parallel. Look at its properties. The first one we have is the opposite sides are equal and parallel, just like I've explained it. Then 2, the opposite angles are equal and congruent. This angle here is equal to this, and this angle here is equal to this. Number 3, it has no line of symmetry. Parallelogram has no line of symmetry. Number 4, adjacent angles are supplementary angle. This side and this side. This is the adjacent angle. They are supplementary angle. Number 5, the diagonals bisect each other. Then number 6, each diagonal bisects the parallelogram into 2 congruent triangles. Into 2 congruent triangles, if you look at it. Divide it into 2 congruent triangles. Then we have the next one. The next plane shape we are going to look at is the rhombus. Look at this. This is what we call a rhombus. It's just like a square, but a little thing is that it's slant. It's not straight like a square. Or you can say that it's just like a parallelogram. Then the only different thing is that its 4 sides are equal, just like square. It has 4 equal sides. So we say that a rhombus is a polygon of the shape of parallelogram, in which all the sides are equal in length. It's of the shape of the parallelogram, and the sides are equal. All the sides are equal, just like the So let's look at its property. The first one, it says that all the sides are equal. Number 2, opposite angles are congruent. Number 3, the diagonals bisect and are perpendicular to each other. We divided it into 2. They are perpendicular. If you move this one goes up and this one goes up. Just this one is going straight on this way, this one is going this way. And that's what we mean is a perpendicular to each other. Then number 4, the adjacent angles are supplementary. This side and this side, they are supplementary angle. Then number 5, it has 2 lines of symmetry. Then the fourth plane shape we are going to look at is kites. If you look just like this one, we are in holidays. I know that some of you are flying kites. We use it to play. It's just that same kite we used to fly in air is what you are talking of. Look at the shape of my own here. It's a kite. He said that it's a polygon of 4 sides also, which 2 pairs of adjacent sides are equal. If you look at it now, this side is equal to this side, and this side is equal to this side. The properties of a kite say that it has a pair of equal adjacent sides. This side is equal to this side, and this side is equal to this side. Number 2, it has 1 line of symmetry. Only 1 line of symmetry. Line that divides it into equal parts. Number 3, the diagonals are perpendicular to each other. They are perpendicular, just like cross. They are perpendicular to each other. Then number 4, the diagonals bisect each other. So the next plane shape we are going to look at is trapezium. It said that a trapezium is a polygon in which a pair of opposite sides is parallel. Pair of the opposite sides is parallel. This side is parallel to this side. Properties of a trapezium: all the sides are not equal. All the sides, you look at it, this side is different from this, and this side is different from this side, and this side is different from this side. The sides are not equal. Also, the angles are not equal. All the angles are not equal. Then the third one, the bases of the trapezium are parallel to each other. The basis, what I mean is that this place is parallel to this side. Only these 2 sides are parallel to each other. Compare some of the plane shapes. The first one we are going to look at is the similarities between a rhombus and a kite. I've explained the properties of a rhombus and the properties of a kite. So let's look at their similarities. Do they have anything in common? Is there in any way they resemble each other? So we have the first one. It says that they are quadrilateral. 2 of them are quadrilateral. Rhombus is a 4-sided polygon, and kite is also a 4-sided polygon. Number 2, they are plane shapes. 2 of them are plane shapes. Then number 3, the diagonals of both intersect at right angles. The diagonals of both intersect at right angle. If you check it yourself, you see that the angle formed at the intersection is angle 90 degrees each. Then another one is the similarities between a parallelogram and a rhombus. The first one, we said that in both, the opposite sides are parallel. The opposite sides of parallelogram and rhombus are parallel. Then number 2, both diagonals bisect each other. Then number 3, both opposite angles are equal. In parallelogram, the opposite angles are equal. Also in rhombus, the opposite angles are equal. Then let's look at the differences between a rhombus and a parallelogram. Do they have anything? Do they have any difference in them? The first one, he said that parallelogram has its opposite sides equal, while rhombus has all sides equal. Parallelogram has the opposite sides equal, while rhombus, look at parallelogram, it has the opposite sides equal. Opposite sides equal. The opposite sides are equal. But in rhombus, all the sides are equal. All the sides are equal. Then number 2, we said that in parallelogram, the diagonals do not bisect at right angles. But in rhombus, they bisect at right angles. If you look at it here, the diagonals, if you cross it, the angle formed at this center here will not give you right angle. But if you look at this one, if you bisect it, you are going to have angle 90 degrees each here. Then the third one, parallelogram has no line of symmetry, but rhombus has two lines of symmetry. Parallelogram, there's no line of symmetry in it, but in rhombus, it has two lines of symmetry. So let's look at again the differences between a rhombus and a kite. The differences between a rhombus and a kite. Look at it. This one is a kite and this one is a rhombus. Do they have any difference in them? We say that the first one, rhombus has 4 equal sides. The 4 sides are equal, but in kite, only 2 pairs of adjacent sides are equal. Only this side is equal to this, and this side is equal to this. This side here is not equal to this because this area is greater, is longer than this side. So only this side is equal to this, and only this one is equal to this. But in rhombus, all the sides are equal. Then number 2, rhombus has 2 lines of symmetry, while a kite has only 1 line of symmetry. Then number 3, rhombus has the opposite sides equal. Rhombus has opposite sides equal, and kite has the adjacent sides equal. Then number 4, in rhombus, opposite angles are equal, but in kite, only a pair of adjacent angles is equal. In rhombus, opposite angles are equal. This angle here is equal to this angle here, and this angle here is equal to this angle here. But in kite, only these 2 angles is equal. Only these 2 angles is equal. This angle here is not equal to this angle here. Then the next one, let's look at the difference between a square and a rectangle. A square and a rectangle. The first one, we said that square has all its sides equal, while a rectangle has opposite sides equal. Then number 2, square has 4 lines of symmetry, while rectangle has only 2 lines of symmetry. So let's look at some working examples. We've known the properties of plane shapes. So when you ask questions, you consider the properties to answer your questions. Like this first example that we are having here, you say, if you look at your screen, you are going to see it. You said that a triangle has the following angles: 67 degrees, 45 degrees, and x degrees. And then what is the value of x? You are asked to find the value of x. So if you are aware that the sum angle of a triangle is equal to 180 degrees, this problem will be very simple for you to solve. So let's look at the solution we have there. We sum the angles given to us, which is 67 degrees plus 45 degrees plus x degrees is equals to 180 degrees, which is the sum angle of a triangle. Then we calculated 67 and 45 to get 112 degrees plus x degrees is equal to 180 degrees. Then subtracting 112 from both sides, or you say you collect your like terms. So we have now 112 degrees plus x degrees minus 112 degrees is equals to 180 degrees minus 112 degrees. Then when we subtract 112 from 112, we have only x there remaining. So we have x now is equals to 68 degrees. Therefore, the missing angle there is equals to 180 degrees. If you sum all these 3 angles now, if you sum it, 67 plus 45 plus 68, you are going to have your, which is a sum angle of a triangle. Then example 2. We have a trapezium. We say that a trapezium has the following angles: 128 degrees, 3x, 82 degrees, and 2x. Find the value of x and the unknown angles. First of all, what is the sum angle of a trapezium? A trapezium is a quadrilateral, and sum angle of a quadrilateral is equal to 360 degrees. So we now solve. We said that 128 degrees plus 3x plus 82 degrees plus 2x is equals to 360 degrees. Then we have 128 plus 82 will give us 210. So 210 degrees plus 3x plus 2x will give us 5x is equals to 360 degrees. So we are now to subtract 210 from both sides. So we have 210 degrees plus 5x minus 210 degrees is equals to 360 degrees minus 210 degrees. So 5x is now equals to 150 degrees, and x, we divide both sides with coefficient of x, which is 5. So when we divide, we have x is equal to 30 degrees. So therefore, it asks us, the question said that we have to find the value of x and the unknown angle. So we've gotten the value of x, which is 30 degrees. Now 3x, what is 3x? 3x is equals to 3 times 30, which is 90 degrees. And then 2x will give us 2 times 30, which is 60 degrees. If you sum it now, 128 degrees plus 82 degrees plus 90 degrees plus 60 degrees, we are going to get your 360. So now let's look at the evaluation of we've come to the end of the class. I believe you understand or you've not now known the properties of plane shapes. And when I ask you questions on that, you'll be able to give me, or just even if you are sleeping and somebody just wake you up and show you a plane shape, you'll be able to identify it and give the person the properties of it. So now I want you to look at these ones. I want you to draw any 4 plane shapes of your choice. Any 4 plane shapes you like, just draw it and write their properties. I will not give you the names of the plane shapes you have to draw. Just draw any 4 plane shapes of your choice and list out their properties. Number 2, list at least 4 similarities between rectangle, and square. There are 4 similarities. I gave you the difference. Now I want you to give me the similarities, 4 of it. It's very simple. That's why I did not give you that one. Then similarities between a rhombus and a parallelogram. Give me their similarities. 4, at least 4. If you give me 10, no problem. Just 4 at least. Number 3, a triangle has the following angles: x plus 20 degrees, x plus 30 degrees, and 2x plus 10 degrees. What is the value of x? Number 4, a triangle having equal base angle is called what? Then number 5, construct any triangle of your choice. Use protractor to measure the 3 angles. When you construct just any kind of triangle, I will not say it's a right angle or it's an isosceles triangle or it's equilateral, just any triangle of your choice, draw it. After drawing it, use your protractor. Get your macet and bring out your protractor. Measure the 3 angles there. Sum the 3 angles, and what is your answer? Is it above 180 degrees or less than 180 degrees or equal to 180 degrees? That's where we'll end the lesson for today. Please, can you do the assignments I gave you and submit it to my WhatsApp page? My WhatsApp number is 08033242852. Submit it before Wednesday. Thank you.